Welcome to the OU Writing Center's Custom Page Numbers tutorial. I'm Michelle Boyd-Waters, Graduate Assistant Director of our Writing Center, and I recorded this video to help you create the section-based page numbers you need for your dissertation, thesis, or comprehensive exam. When do you need custom page numbers? When you read the guidelines on how to set up the document for your dissertation or thesis, you'll see that the title pages need to have no page numbers, the front matter needs Roman numerals, and the content pages need to start over at page 1. If you're writing a comprehensive exam in some disciplines, you may need to answer 2 or more questions in one document, but set up each question on its own title page with no number. In both cases, you may need to start over with number 1 in a middle section of your document. In the following videos, I'm going to show you what you can do in Microsoft Word and in Google Docs. Those of you who are writing a dissertation or thesis will need to ensure that your title pages have no numbers, that the front matter uses Roman numerals, and that your content section uses Arabic numerals beginning with the number 1. Since Google Docs does not have Roman numerals, you'll need to use Microsoft Word to customize your page numbers. If you wrote your paper in Google Docs, you'll just need to download it as a Word file. In the following video, I will show you step by step how to set up each section and choose the correct numbering format. My sample document has title, committee, and copyright pages. I place my cursor at the end of the copyright page, go to the Layout menu and select Breaks, then select Next Page. Then I place my cursor near the end of the front matter. Select Breaks and Next Page. Then I delete the blank page. I now have 3 sections set up. The title page is already set up with no page numbers, so I go to the first page of section 2, my front matter, and open the footer by double-clicking at the very bottom of the page. Notice how the title of the footer says section 2 and the title of the footer on the previous page says section 1. Now I make sure my cursor is in the footer of section 2. Go to the tool ribbon and deselect Link to Previous. Then I open the page number menu and select Bottom of Page and Centered option. That looks right, so I'm going back to the page number menu and selecting Format Page Numbers. In this menu, I select the Roman numeral format, keep Continue from previous section, then click OK. As I scroll through, I see the page numbers look right. When I'm on section 3, I notice that it still has Roman numerals and continues the page numbers. I can fix that. I should note that you may need to deselect Link to Previous page here if your page numbers aren't working like mine did. Now just close your footer menu and scroll through to make sure your page numbers are working. Those of you who are writing your comprehensive exams will need to ensure that your title pages have no numbers and that your content section uses Arabic numerals beginning with number 1. Just a reminder, if you're working on a project that needs Roman numerals, Google Docs does not have that functionality. You'll need to use Microsoft Word. In the following video, I will show you step by step how to set up each section and reset the first content page to number 1. My sample document has 2 title pages followed by content pages. I place my cursor at the end of the title page, go to the Insert menu, select Break, and then Section Break Next Page. This added an extra page, so I used the delete button to move my content back to the correct page. Then I place my cursor at the end of the first content section, go to the Insert menu, select Break, and then Section Break Next Page. Again, this added an extra page, so I use the delete button to move my content back to the correct page. I place my cursor at the end of the second title page, go to the Insert menu, select Break, and then Section Break Next Page. Again, I use the delete button to move my content back to the correct page. Now I open the footer by double-clicking at the bottom of the page. Notice I'm in Section 1. I scroll down to Section 2 and then make sure I delete or deselect Link to Previous. I go to the Insert menu and select Page Numbers and More Options. If you aren't needing to make modifications, you could just select the graphic with the footer page numbers. In the Page Numbers menu, I make sure Section 2 is selected, Footer, Show on First Page, and then select Start at 1. Then click Apply. Go to the Tool ribbon at the top and center the page number. Perfect. I scroll to Section 3, which is my second title page, and deselect Link to Previous. The title page now has no number. Now I move on to my second content section, which is Section 4, and deselect Link to Previous. I make sure my cursor is in Section 4 footer, go to the Insert menu and select Page Numbers and More Options. In the Page Number menu, I make sure Section 4 is selected, Footer, Show on First Page, and then select Start at 1. Then I center the page numbers. Now I scroll through to check my work. If you're still struggling with this process, you can set up in-person, video, or written appointments at the Writing Center. We can walk you through this process. We're looking forward to working with you. And finally, let's give credit where credit is due. This document was created by Michelle Boyd Waters, Graduate Assistant Director at the University of Oklahoma's Writing Center. Created in 2024 under Creative Commons license. This license allows reusers to distribute, remix, adapt, and build upon the material in any medium or format for non-commercial purposes only, and only so long as attribution is given to the creator. If you remix, adapt, or build upon the material, you must license the modified material under identical terms.